Alright, going back by. Go ahead.
So yeah, that was terrible. This is also gonna be terrible. Once again, if you're dumb and you missed whatever that was, this is a hero's tale. Still, this time an actual speedrun where things actually happen. It's still on PAL Xbox 360, and it is still because I can't afford NTSC. Specifically 360 because of faster loading times, and specifically Xbox because of different collision mechanics compared to the PS2 version. GameCube is equal, but slower loads. So as for region differences, there's nothing that matters except for NTSC always having faster loads on every console. Yes, we checked. Once again, this cutscene takes forever, but that's fine. And the cutscene is equally boring, as always. There's a slight problem with 100%, and that's the fact that it kind of starts off just like any percent. Really boring stuff. But it's really not that big of a deal.
Doing all this dirty work.
Nasty Nork. Didn't I defeat that guy years ago? Huh. What are dark gems?
Dark gems.
So many questions. Dark gems are the life-draining stones that fuel Red's evil power. If you're going to stop Red, you'll have to find out more about him and destroy all the dark gems. But first, go and see Moneybags. He usually has something worth buying. Good luck, Spyro. Now I'll unlock that door so you can... Oh, Spyro.
Soon. 3, 2, 1, go! My own splits, because this time I might need those. Anyway, that was a fire alarm if you could hear that. I don't know why it's been going off all day. I thought I'd be safe. Infinite jump. It's generally done with double jump, but there's one spot in the game where it works without. It's here. Don't ask me why. I don't know anything. Essentially, it's used to skip double jump. However, as you may have been able to tell from the previous run, it doesn't really skip double jump. It just skips acquiring double jump through normal means. It's also a pain in my ass right now. Just lowered myself to see if I can manage. There you go. It's really, really tough to pull off. The execution, but it's like also super finicky. Anyway, just because this is 100%, there's one difference. I actually get to grab some items here and there. Because it's out of the way. But the swim is extremely fast. I'm gonna kill the boss here, just so I can get out of this hub as soon as possible, because all of this run is to make it to hub, do a bunch of things, and I'll get into that a bit later, but mainly it's a gem routing deal. Lockpicks to open a lot of chests in the game. Pick gems from a remote shop pad. And there's a lot of light gems and dragon eggs in chests. 100% category is defined by collecting all items, which is 40 dragon eggs.
It's been a while since I last defeated you in battle.
I'm gonna need to do that, but before I can do that, I need a lot of lockpicks and
You did? Really? I don't remember
an item
at all.
called a keyring, or
Man, I guess it really
and I don't actually know. I don't read things.
So, are we gonna do
Something
this
that
thing or
allows me
what?
to carry 3 lockpicks instead of 1 at a time, which is vital to the speedrun. Otherwise, I'd have to constantly backtrack to shop pads. Lockpicks. Like you can see in my status screen at the bottom left, there's 1 slot for a lockpick. So for now, I'm gonna mostly focus on just getting rid of bosses so I can get to hub 3, so I can get gems, essentially. So sadly, due to that, it starts off just as boring as not 100, any percent. But it is the fast route. And the fact that since entering Hub 3 just automatically gives me double jump, it essentially acts as a cutscene skip for the double jump.
Stupid! You beat me! Man, I gotta get my head in the game.
Boy. Boss is just as boring as ever. There's just a bunch of damage boosting the skip attacks. The really basic stuff. Hello? Thank you. And take damage on this other thing. So every time a phase starts, I kill myself. And also I'm playing this video game, but every time a phase starts a death abuse, it looks like it might lose a lot of time to take that death, because it takes a while for Spyro to die. But it actually skips an attack on every phase as well, which ends up making this only lose about half a second. An entire attack that doesn't happen. He goes straight in this electric thing rather than doing the triple ground smash. It gives me full sparks every time, which allows me to just take more damage abuses and whatnot. Eventually evens out to plenty of time saved. Which is not a very exciting fight, but there is something to it, at least. Not anything flashy or highly technical, but there is stuff here, speed-wise. I was too close to him because I'm really good at paying attention, so I had to do something down there. Yeah, that's that boss. Which will give us electric breath, which, like in the 90%, this might actually have some uses here and there. Might being the key word. I think I use it a grand total of like 4 times or some shit. It's used to activate switches, as this thing will tell us.
I know that you've traveled far and overcome great obstacles in your quest to save me.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm on a quest to...
So as a reward, I will bestow you some of my electric energy. This will give you the ability to breathe electricity from now on.
Wow! Is this breath even stronger than my fire breath?
In some ways it is, but it will take longer to defeat enemies.
In some ways it is a blatant lie. It is 100% of the time weaker than the fire breath. Its utility activating switches like these. Most of which are skipped in this category. So it's really not that useful. More useful than water breath, which is actually used like once, twice because breath, I guess. Thank you. Ledge grab. I think that would have been fun though. This time I actually have to get this egg, so it's not just a safety thing to force an autosave. Also, this cutscene bleeds into here, so I can activate it from here. You're supposed to walk outside from the cave, but why would I do that? So don't mind Spyro doing his thing.
Oh, a
He does that.
I think Moneybags already has one of those.
Well, yes, that's true.
You're not meant to see this far outside of like
Mine.
the confines of the text box. Like this is supposed to be like a 4x3 game. Thanks to 360 emulation, it's stretched. So you see a lot of things out, like, off screen, quote unquote, out of bounds in the cutscene, and there's some strange, questionable things happening at times. Anyway, here's a bunch of cutscenes for like 3 minutes. Have fun. I won't.
What? Defeated by that little twerp Spyro. He is only a dragon whelp. Your master was a useless lump of dragon dung, and you brainless imbeciles better get your act together, or you will find yourselves working in the mines digging for dark gems for the rest
Encoding
of your
CPU
miserable
usage.
lives.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, if there's stream issues, then blame them all on me, because they're probably all my fault.
bad news. Now, all of you, get out there and stop Spyro. I suspect he's on his way to this realm.
Like if
And
there's
when he
a
gets here,
maybe
I'll have
second long delay in the fucking video, like there was earlier. Well, it's synchronized, but yeah.
Ah, Spyro, I see you made it safely. Certainly gives the old system a thorough workout, eh?
Yeah,
No, not really.
Being sucked down a giant drain.
Ah, matter transportation is still in its...
As many people may have already noticed, there's a bunch of weird shit all over the screen due to the bad emulation, like the Xbox has a clear box around it for some reason.
Just step inside and activate it and choose where you want.
It's not very good emulation.
Now you're here. The next thing you should do is try to find the Elder in the Cloudy Domain.
Anyway, just like in any percent, just do this thing. I don't really talk about this much in any percent, but that's because there's not really much to say. It looks like I'm doing something to clip through here, but like I'm just charging at the wall, which just pushes you out of bounds for some reason. I don't know at all. Anyway, just like last time, water planes have huge depth to them. Even the smallest puddles will extend 20 feet downwards out of bounds. Swimming air in this game is a laugh. The reason I get swim in air is because it's fast to go through this tunnel by just going straight under it, and this cutscene doesn't exist anymore. So we're straight at the boss. And make her aim that way, so as soon as the attack stops, I can do this. I would do this for more attacks than one, but it's really unreliable for more than this first thing. This boss is super boring. You saw that one phase? Well, get ready to see it 8 more times. Because that's what the boss is. You do the same thing 9 times and it takes 5 minutes. Some shit. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, frankly. Oh. You just take damage on the lasers to end this entirely. It's very boring. And then here you can just take damage on the breath. Which skips the breath entirely as well.
No! I can't believe I was defeated by someone as small as you.
Then just get sparks back for all of that. Well, kilo. This breath attack has some really weird properties. It sometimes just expands. I've gotten hit by it while standing like on the other side of the arena. It's really strange. So avoiding these attacks seems easy, but sometimes she can just decide that it is no longer easy. You are no longer allowed. Like you just get hit because that's what the game has now decided. You're not getting it out of it. And that's that. Just like the last phase, same exact thing. What an exciting boss fight. I generally try to manipulate it so I like bounce in a good direction after hitting her, so I'm closer to the water, but like I'm not really sure what I'm doing when I do that. What I don't want is falling into the water as I hit her, because that will soft lock this shit, and I'd have to do the whole fight again, so... And to avoid really dumb things like that, except on the last phase where it won't soft lock, it will actually save me a lot of time. I don't mind the electric noise, I don't know what it is. It's just there. There's reasons. Pretty good instant hit. Right, and there. Finally, we're getting to the end of this nonsense. It's taken forever. Thank you. And you do this, which makes the cutscene very blurry. It's because there's a blur effect when you swim in this game. Sometimes there isn't. Generally, when you swim like out of bounds, it might just deload because why would the blur effect exist? You know.
See, now you're just overacting.
Now everything is very blurry.
Spyro, thank you for releasing me. As a token of my gratitude, I will grant you the power of water breath.
Generally, when you beat this boss, afterwards you spawn in the middle of the arena on the platform.
Some objects, solve puzzles, and slow down.
If you put yourself into the water after killing a Neptune, you will actually spawn close to the exit in the water, which saves a good bit of time. Because one, you're close to the exit. Two, I can do this immediately, which is what I want to do. Because the cutscene is still here, and I don't want to watch it again, just like I did in the fucking any percent run, where I may or may not have fucking gone straight into the cutscene. Now this is where we deviate from any percent properly. I'm gonna do some actual item collection. I'm gonna get this egg. And still remains is that dumb hub world. It's kind of covered in invisible walls in every direction, so I have to like get out of bounds by using another one of these, rather than just swimming over the thing, but I don't mind, it's still fast. And honestly, I think it just gives me a straighter line. It feels smoother. Now the bonk out of bounds thing for the swimming airs is like really simple, like you literally just bonk out of the water at a certain angle. It's not even specific, you just do it. Anyway, there's an otter guy who wants you to... Is he an otter? I don't fucking know what he is supposed to be. Some furry thing wants you to hit some water wheels to raise the water level in one of these things. I'm gonna hit only this one. There's two of these. This one will trigger him giving you a light gem, but even then, like the light gem is something I'll get much later. Okay, I swam away from the thing, so the camera is now stuck to me, but I still don't have control because the cutscene is still technically playing. Also, activating that water wheel with swim, not easy. But yeah, you need to activate the water wheels to get the light gem from that guy. But only one of them triggers it, so you just do that one. It also raises the water up to a level where you can grab another light gem, but I can get that with a swim in air anyway, so it won't matter. That'll be much later. This is Blink. The game is filled with minigames. There's 4 characters. or 4 minigame types rather, because, well, Spyro does one of them. And for those 4 minigame types, there's one in each hub, and for every single minigame type and minigame, you do it twice. Once for a Dragon Egg, once for a Light Gem. For a total of 2 passes through each minigame. Which gives us a lot of time to not appreciate Blink in this game, because this is the worst character in Turbot in terms of how he plays and how fun these levels are, as in they're not fun. They are the worst. Blink is a slippery, slidey motherfucker. He doesn't like staying on platforms all of the time. He also doesn't enjoy the idea of ledge grabbing, despite having the ability to do so. And sometimes he just doesn't hear the walls either. He's supposed to, which is real fun. Now, I'm gonna hope that that works, because I am a cool guy like that. Now, I want these guys dead so I can actually go over here. If you were looking out for that shard counter, you may have noticed that I actually did break that dark shard with that random throw. It is fucking hard. But it is not that hard. I can do it in RTA very easily.
Here you
Stop
go, Spyro.
swearing. No.
I found a dragon. But I bet what you really want is a light gem, huh?
How much time does it save? I don't have an exact figure. But killing the bosses definitely saves time, because you need to get into Hub 3, because it is the best place to collect a lot of gems fast. It is the only way to unlock double jump without talking to the Elder in Dragon Village. Anyway, the whole point of these minigames is, like, you've got bombs, you need to use the bombs to break dark shards. That probably should have said, but really it doesn't matter. The point is, these are terrible. All of them. They're fucking horrible. This is the hardest one, in my opinion. There's an extra section to this now. See, the requirement for dark shards has doubled. But all the dark shards from earlier are still here. They just opened like an extra section with more dark shards. Some of the minigames do that, some of them add an entire, like, bunch of fucking dark shards. I'm just gonna throw 2 to get, I think, for certain. Anyway, yeah, some of them just add dark shards to the existing level, some of them add a portion to the level. Depends. I think every other minigame has an extra part, like you have this part of the level, which is the hardest fucking thing in the entire fucking game. And I already fucked it up because I am really good at video games. Look at this. I love it. Why it's hard. These fucking spiders are worst thing anyone's ever had in a video game. I think that's still the quick cycle, but yeah, that is hard. You have to rely on the spiders to just ignore you. You have to make this. That's the whole point of going fast through that section. And then you get over here, and hopefully you don't die. So I was collecting gems throughout all of that. Every time you get a minigame, if you collect gems in it, for some reason, upon exiting, your gem count will be doubled and then added to whatever you have. So I'm probably gonna have like 1,000 gems after this, despite never collecting nearly that many gems. But I need gems so I can buy one thing. Lockpick, which is going to actually unlock the ability to actually use shop ads. The money back shop doesn't actually open until you buy the lockpick, and that's because at the start of the game, there's no split there. At the start of the game, there's where you have to collect 500 gems and then go into money back shop and buy a lockpick to proceed with the game, which is something that I just skipped entirely, obviously. There's still a requirement to buy a lockpick. I don't know why. So I have to buy a lockpick so I can use the teleporter and all other functions of the shop pad. Actually, I do need that lockpick. It is incorporate it into the route because there's a level later on where I'll be going in as Hunter and I need a lockpick at the start of it, otherwise I'll be completely fucked.
What is going on around here? Do I have to deal with Spyro?
The route requires a lockpick to be bought.
Looking for me soon. Let me think.
Yeah, to completely break the interesting things of this run, we're gonna get back to the 80% route and just do the boss immediately. That boss. The game opens up and I will be going into proper 100% speedrunning rather than just beating bosses that are the most boring thing in the universe.
Stand guard over there.
Imagine that.
If you let me down, you know what will happen.
Spyro, now here you are on the beautiful but cold, icy wilderness. You should head
Beautiful
to the
but
Ice
cold.
Citadel.
It is a very
Try to find the
pretty
elder
place,
there.
kind of.
He may be able to tell you where Red
I like ice
is
places
hiding.
generally in a video game. Anyway, just like in any percent, we magically have any percent, yeah. We magically have fucking double jump now, and we can magically use it to infinite jump. Get into the boss. The required 30 dart jumps. Ah, fuck. I try to optimize the movement here, where like when I land on the thing, I'm immediately walking already, rather than like jumping over onto the thing.
I cannot
Be on the end of Discord here, because it says my voice shit has like 452 ping,
I will deal.
probably because of the server.
Hoping it wouldn't come to this, but alas.
I can't do much about that because my commentary is coming through Discord, so blame
Am I
whoever
supposed to
decided
be
that should be
scared
the
of
thing.
you? I've spoken to the elders, and from what I can make out, you're just a traitorous coward.
Well,
Can't do much.
prepare, young dragon, to be taught a lesson.
Plus the bars seem to go into red a lot. Haha, red. Anyway, this is red. And the bar is at red again. First phase here is nothing overly special. He does this, he spawns 5 boxes. You only need to hit 3. You can't hit a 4th even if you try. I'm gonna show you what can do.
Oh yes, Spyro, you fight well. You remind me of me when I was your age.
I just hope I fight better than you when I'm your age.
Bring it.
Could try changing the server, yeah. I don't have the power to do such things. Well, the mic is plugged in more properly than ever. Just, you know, much internet connection issues, pretty much, I guess. Hey, he did the RNG thing. Let's see if I can. I was wondering if I could do something I've never done, just to see if it's possible. Anyway, that's the RNG thing. That can make you lose a good minute or some shit. Probably not a minute. It's probably like 40, 30 seconds. Why did he do that again? And if this trend continues, he can do it again. And this 3 cycle instead of a 1 cycle. Yeah, I was gonna see if I could get good RNG, but it really doesn't matter, because I'm still gonna get the phase done.
Well.
Gambling, live on stream, illegal
It's already match against my infinite power.
activities. Yeah, just sort of circle around him like this, because why not? If you just circle around him like this, he will eventually catch up with his little freezing trick. Take damage, just like, I don't know, a couple of times. Green sparks is a good place to be. And just like usual, 9 shots with the ice nonsense. And a double. And a triple. And a double. And then 4 triples. Didn't lose even more time, which is nice. We're on pace for something at least decent so far. At least good to have the run start off semi-competent. Because this is essentially the start of the run. It doesn't even pick up until half an hour in. As I said, now begins the true 100%. We had a little bit of a taste after in Neptune, but this is where true
Ice breath can be used to freeze enemies and stop them in their tracks.
the bar is once again at red.
Freeze small
Okay.
water jets or cool down
Shit, yeah,
hot geysers.
at least. But now commentary won't go to shit. I mean, it will, but that won't be an internet issue, haha. With double jump, I'll pulse nowhere. Hello. For some reason, just entering Hub 3 gives you these 2 abilities. Oh my god. Gonna infinite jump to get myself back onto this, because that's not something I want to do. And yeah, pop out of bounds for a second. Edge grabbing is an animation that entirely ignores collision. Whoops. So you can use it to pop out of bounds here and there. But more on that later when I actually use it for such a thing. Also more lag. I love lag. Alright, so I'm gonna clear out a portion of this level. There's like 3 sections to this level, pretty much. I'm gonna clear out like 2 of them. Or, well, actually 1 of them if you think about it as like properly 3 sections. There's this section, there's the like secret section behind the strong wall, and then there's the section behind the like electric breath puzzle thing. I'm gonna clear out this section that brings me to the mammoth, which will put me in the gloomy glacier.
Meet again, Spyro.
But first, let's indulge more in this fucking asshole, because that's my favorite thing to fucking do in my life. I want to die.
Should I explore below ground?
Anyway, first and foremost, I'm gonna do a little bit of a detour for 1 dark shard that they decided to put in the back of the fucking room here. Guys. I'm just gonna create a bit of a chain reaction with these. Just because I can. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Good feel for that. Anyway, I broke that and restarted the fucking minigame. It's not a dupe. It might look like a dupe, but it isn't. That dark shard is just now broken. And it put me at the start of the level, which is slightly faster to use as a thing rather than just looping around and getting out of there. It's ever so slightly faster. It's like a couple of seconds saved. So I guess the trick is a bit of a risky thing. Anyway, I need to kill this caterpillar, otherwise he'll spit at me and kill me when I'm... It's really a safety safety strat because it's random, but there's just such a good chance of him doing that if he feels like it. Need to go over here, get that little boost off the ice, stand here so the explosion doesn't hit me, and then, yeah. Clear these guys out so they don't block my path. And this guy just... Those guys just sort of randomly run around, and that's the first time he's ever jumped fucking in front of me. Just to make sure that blows up. Punching doesn't really seem to slow you down at all. If anything, it probably saves you like 2 frames or some shit every time you do it. Once again, create like a chain reaction. The bombs, when interacting with each other, have huge hitboxes. So like a bomb can blow up another bomb from like way further away than like the bomb's actual hitbox. Or, like it's like hurt box actually goes.
I found you a dragon egg. Should I try again and see if I can find you a light gem?
It is a strange property, but it allows for throwing the dark shard. Anyway, just like last time, loop around here first. But this time I can't do the restart trick, and in fact that was the one and only use of the restart trick in the entire run. There's now 2 dark shards here, because this is one of those where there's only same exact level as last time, with just added dark shards. Using that crate as a thing so I can get on there without pledge grab. Just gonna hope that hits it. If not, then yep. Good throw. And I'm just gonna hope I don't die. And I'm gonna go around here as a safe strat, because as you saw, those icicles, they don't have a cycle. It's not safe to go after the icicle falls, because there could be another one basically like following it, which is not fun. Ah, it didn't break. Okay. I'm gonna wait on this. Okay, good, I'm safe. Again, just kill the caterpillar. I'm not sure about the Eskimo. Yeah, haha, Eskimo. That's what they are. They're called that. I'm not sure if that guy actually hits you ever, but like I kill him too, cause why not? And Spider seems to come dangerously close to me every time, but like he's incapable of hitting me. It's perfectly safe. Ah, no boost. Well, just make a chain reaction. That cover animation actually prevents me from taking damage. Sure, fuck's sake. The full cover animation. Like, even the recovery from the cover animation. I need to kill that guy, otherwise he'll be an asshole to me. And then I need to blow this thing up. Land on the edge of that and then jump off immediately, because as you can see, those platforms sort of just sway about when you walk on them, and they lower. I need to grab this bone. So if you stand on the platform, it actually dips down, and you can't make a jump onto the other thing. So no skipping allowed. If you do that, I'm also gonna have to take the bomb from this Yeti. It's because I wasted so many on that one dark shard. Anyway, that was alright.
There, I found you a light gem. That's it for now, but you know I'm always willing to go back at any time.
Yeah, just for fun. Do you want to play again for fun? I fucking don't, because I think it would be more fun to gouge my eyes out and eat them. How about that? So let's forget Blink for the next half an hour or so, and continue on with White Village. Bit of an infinite jump on that tree to cut down on the platforming required. Oh, wait. Thieves in this game are a little bit weird. In other Spyro games, their turning around animations tend to be instant to prevent you from just doing stuff like that. Here they have the slowest turning animation, but to compensate for that, they also are very good at running away. I just used my face to switch breaths, don't mind me. So, you know, thieves generally have a much different strategy in this game compared to like Spyro 3, for example. Spyro 1. Anyway, I'm gonna cut the corner into this section here. Gonna be a lot of that. Just go out of bounds to get into this section, because like infinite jumping in all games, it always opens up a lot of possibilities. Hit this to bring this up. So you need up here in order to hit this. Yep. Grab this egg. Quick little turnaround by jumping. And since I don't have wall kick to climb on these like little wooden surfaces, so I still have to utilize this. Wall kick would be a lot faster because, as you can see, I'm going down a lot when I do the infinite jump and then back up a little bit higher than before. It's not particularly fast, but when there's no other option, then like, yeah, do it. Whenever possible, I do try to keep out the whole infinite jumping thing, but only if at all possible. Right, get that light gem, and we're done here. We're done for this level for the time being. Rest I will collect much later. But there's one more item. You're intended to get this after you're done with Gloomy Glacier. But I'm gonna skip the trigger for the mammoth cutscene here by going around it. I cannot skip the mammoth entirely because Gloomy Glacier itself will not load ever. Need to have the mammoth cutscene watched in order for the level to load and for Hunter to be up there. Sadly, because this is a very long and annoying cutscene with terrible writing.
Red, tell me to stop you.
Huh, fat chance. I've beaten bigger baddies than you. All I have to do is run around you a few times while I figure out your weakness. Then I just hit you 3 times and...
Yeah, Spyro's dead. Series over. Series is now Hunter the Cheetah, because haha. Yeah, as I said, Hunter. We're gonna play as Hunter now, and that may not sound good, but Hunter is actually one of the better characters to play as in this game. It's actually really nice. His jump feels great, the movement is fun and easy to do, and there's some interesting things with like using the bow, having to basically do quick shots. There's a little bit of quick scoping here and there. To see if I'm actually good at those. So there's actually one very precise shot that I force myself to make every time, although it's not that necessary. Anyway, here's a character that got ruined by this game. It's Bentley.
Hey, it's not my old pal.
Remember when Bentley Sounded like a very well-read
Oh, hey,
individual.
Bentley. Yeah, I'm just passing through. I'm on a mission to rescue Spyro. He's gone and gotten himself captured. How you doing?
Like he had a very, very
Some
vast
neighbor
vocabulary.
chased me out of my house, but I don't want to bore you. You're
But
busy
it's like,
looking for Spyro.
no,
Oh, cool. Okay then.
not anymore.
Sure you're okay, Bentley?
No, no fun
I
at
can
all.
go in there with my bows and arrows.
Thankfully, Bentley will be forever ignored after I get through with this shit.
I would be
I
very
need to do his
grateful.
little dumb side quest and clear out his house.
You'll have to climb the wall to reach it. But you've got to be careful. There's quite a few bad guys and they're very tough. If you get rid of all the Yetis, I'll give you
So
a
get rid
reward.
of all the Yetis. Now this is Hunter's movement, it's just jump kicking over and over. So here's a wall climbing thing, but I don't really want to climb the whole thing, so I'm gonna cut the corner over to here. At all possible, I'm gonna try to skip the Zoe. Let's see. Nope. She got me. Anyway, as Bentley said, I'm gonna have to clear out the Yetis, and for some reason Hunter refused to target that guy, so... Also, as I said much earlier, the lockpick is now useful. If I didn't have a lockpick at this point, I would be shit out of luck. A lockpick would be the slowest thing in the universe. So get that explosive arrow and then, well, I guess we're waiting on this to do shit at me so I can die. Death abusing is the fast way out of here. And if I had skipped that Zoe outside of the house, I would have spawned at the start of the level, right next to Bentley, basically. That's Bentley's house. That's all I need to do in there. Also, I had to collect that explosive arrow, and I will make sure to tell you when that comes into play.
Pal. Let me help you with that door so you can go about your business. Also, I meant to give you this on your birthday. Sorry it's so late.
Oh yeah, light gem. Okay, cool.
If you don't like it, you can return it.
Oh no! I love it. I'll give it to Spyro.
Yeah. Good luck with
Oh,
fighting
fuck
Spyro,
you.
old
You're not
buddy.
Bentley. Anyway, here's a unique enemy. He drops lockpicks. And he's also an asshole, so I have to kind of shoot him from afar. Now, the reason he drops lockpicks is so you don't just remain completely shit out of luck forever if you really came in here with no lockpicks. Oh, fuck you. Buttons have annoying hitboxes. I collected the lockpick because, first of all, why not? Even if it wasn't useful in the near future, which it will be. That would be like a free 600 gem drop from a normal enemy. That's pretty valuable. These skeletons are assholes. If I die here, then tough shit. 'Cause I have no method for consistently remaining alive through this. If the skeletons feel like they're gonna hit me, they will fucking hit me, that's that. It's a good spot to collect some gems too. Now the gem collection has begun. Also, this is the last chest in the level that matters. Conveniently right after the enemy that drops lockpicks. Okay, let's see these cycles. Let's modify these cycles. So explosive arrows are used to break open doors, not doors. There were doors, I'm sure they would be, but walls like that, among other things, like strong chests and whatever. There's an egg behind there and I need it, so. And anyway, Hunter's jump has some interesting properties to it. You can see that I'm delaying the double jump by quite a bit, and that's because it increases your height, like, quite a lot if you delay it, because otherwise you get a jump like that, which isn't very high. It serves the purpose, but like for basically unintended jumps, I delayed double jump. Also, there's an egg down there, and it's fast to just jump down to it rather than using the platforms on the left, and then just killing yourself rather than using the platforms on the left. So Yeah, fun. Also, out of those bats, only one can target you at a time. So if you get one of them aggroed and then avoid them, then the rest will ignore you as well, and you'll be good to go through that without taking damage. Ah, damn it. Wait, here's the hardest jump in the level. Yep. You can see that I was on there. Didn't get on it, so. Avoid this boulder, because I don't want to get hit by it. Yeah. It's annoying. There's a safe strat for that, but it involves using the platforms. And the platforms take like fucking forever to respawn. So it's a pretty obvious like risky speed strat for like a little bit of time save. Not even a little bit, it's actually a very good amount in my opinion. Now here is another type of minigame. We've only seen one so far, and that's Blink. What a great introduction to the fucking minigames in this.
Should I take it from here?
This is Sparks rail shooter nonsense. It's not really a full-on rail shooter, I guess. I don't know. Does this count? I'd say it counts. Now, Sparks movement is an actual thing. Like, you want to do movement. There's a specific rhythm to this to maintain my stamina at a high level. As you can see, it's barely depleting when I'm doing this, but I'm still keeping a very like high speed compared to the normal speed. But like, you pretty much keep this throughout the entire level because there's another bottle here that finishes the shit. So you're gonna have to wait for the light gem variant, which removes power-ups, pickups, and also lowers the amount of weapons you hold. These are also very useful minigames for gem collection, just due to the amount of enemies that you can just kill without really losing any time. And plenty of them drop shit like 100 gems, which yellow gems are 100 gems rather than 10 gems now. And blue gems are 25 gems and green gems are 5 gems.
Here you go, Hunter. I got a dragon egg.
But the reason I didn't do it there is because I was so focused on just using the max amount of the stamina that I could to go as fast as humanly possible. Here I'm gonna actually run out of stamina, and when I do, I'm probably gonna focus on trying to kill a bunch of enemies. So there's additional enemies like Yetis and Eskimos. They really don't matter. They don't even drop anything. It's the 100 gem spider, I think. No, it's the one later on. The like groups of blue insects actually drop 100 gems if you kill the entire group. That spider gave 100 gem. Okay, as well as like a group that I bombed. The bombs just clear out the screen, and the bombs actually do a really bad job at that because they almost never kill everything on screen. Yeah, as I mentioned much earlier with the Blink minigame, just like here, your gems will be double upon leaving the minigame, so I'm gonna get like well over 1,000 gems for this. But these are really valuable for gem collection. However, this is not the main method of gem collection. Because there is a specific section where I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna buy the double gem power up, and then I'm gonna go in and get some fucking gems. Now, cycles are actually running while this cutscene is running, which is interesting. Well, it's not a bad thing, in fact it's a good thing, because this thing will be right where I need it. And get over here. To get the slide gem, death abuse to get back to the start of this section, and then do the hardest thing in the level. Not the hardest jump in the level, but the hardest thing, because this thing requires random nonsense. Let's see. Yep. Take damage on enemies while doing these things. Just in general, if you take damage, sometimes you will be allowed to double jump out of taking damage. Saves a very sizable amount of time in order to do that thing and skip a large portion of the wall climbing. Quick scope. Haha, I did it well enough. That's a very, very tiny thing I aimed for. I'm impressed with myself. Usually I'm not that quick about it, but that's another 500 gem. The explosion radius hits the switch, which also opens the door into that thing with the light gem, so... Oh shit. That could have killed me. That wouldn't have been fun. To get this light gem, I've missed that before and then immediately ran into this trigger. Ends the level, and the only way to get that light gem back is to go back into the level, do all of the level, and then get that. There's no way to get to the end of the level. You have to go through the entirety of it, so try not to do that.
Spyro, you okay?
Yeah, back to Spyro.
Hunter, am I glad to see you? Do you think
That
we
is a
can get
very
down?
good level.
Yeah,
It was
just
also a
hang in
best
there,
segment,
buddy.
in case anyone cares.
Very
It is the
funny.
best I've ever done on that level, because basically nothing went wrong. It is not flawless, however. I can save time on it quite a bit, probably like 20 seconds, if not more.
Now I'm off to find Red. Hey, you want me to tag along? No. I'll continue from here. All right then. See you soon, buddy. You look after yourself.
Alright, so since I don't feel like starting the level from here, I'm gonna actually completely change my starting point for this, and I'm gonna just skip to the end of the level because I feel like it's more optimal to start from there rather than wherever the fuck I am at right now. There's a few things I want to collect first, so I'm just gonna infinite jump through this wall, and I'm just gonna dive way over here, and then I'm gonna fucking toggle to electric breath. I need to keep pushing forward on the stick at all times when I'm gliding, otherwise I'm not gonna keep going forward, so I'm gonna have to do something in order to get breaths switched out, so... face strats. Anyway, I'm gonna take damage from this archer. Thank you. It's one of the few uses of electric breath. Just what am I doing? Buy the double jump power up, which is a limited thing. Some people buy it thinking it isn't when they're first playing through, and then they will be horribly disappointed. Oh, this section has like 10 strong chests in it. Each strong chest has 500 gems. I have double gems. It's going to be quite a lot more now. This is a lot of fucking gems. And this is essentially the gem route of the game. You come here and you do this. You do this really fucking badly. It was really... I want to say average, but I feel like it was slightly below average. Like recently I had like the fastest I've ever done with that, and it was like the coolest thing because I got barely any setup on any of the fucking shots, and every shot was first try. It's just really annoying because it's kind of hard to do that because you have to use the stick to toggle the fucking like height on the cannon. The height of the shot. You can't use the D-pad for any of that. Anyway, I the boiler and Death Abuse to spawn back at the start of the level because now I want to be here. Now there's a bunch of shit I need to collect over here. Hell, there's another boiler I need to collect. But the key thing I had to do was get those gems. Because that will allow me to buy... First of all, the keychain or keyring or whatever. Maybe I can read it and check what it's called in the shop. A bunch of lockpicks, because there's gonna be a bunch of chests. And if I did not have the keychain, which is apparently what it's called, if I did not have it, I would have to constantly backtrack to a shop pad. And the only shop pad, like anywhere close to anything, is right there. I have to kill this enemy. Otherwise he'll shoot me off this platform. I'd have to keep backtracking to this shop pad, or like the one up ahead. Now I have multiple lockpicks with me, so hit this water wheel in order to open this door. And then just switch back to Ice Breath, which is the most powerful breath. Because you can do that to enemies and it gives you all the gems. You don't have to wait for the death animation or anything. It's essentially like kind of slightly passive gem collection. These enemies, but like it's gem collection. It lose much time unless I just over gem, in which case, well, that's my fault for not paying attention. Also, for a lot of enemies where like they're guarding doors, there's plenty of them in the game where you have to kill an enemy in order for a door to open. You generally have to wait for the enemy's death animation to end. But with the Ice Breath, you can completely just remove the enemy from existence and then the door will open instantly. That door was one of those, by the way. Okay, the guy down there is Elder Aster. I don't care. Plain and simple. He teaches you wall kick, which I already mentioned earlier would be a faster way to climb those things, but I already got rid of like the most important wall kick thing in the game. I skipped that shit, so it's now kind of more useless. His cutscene takes super long, so skipping wall kick is gonna save time, but not too much of it. And here we get to the third minigame type, which is the speedways. Traditionally they were done as Spyro, but in this game they changed it up and made it a Sergeant Bird thing, which I think is one of the few better things than the originals. However, they didn't handle Sergeant Bird perfectly. It feels better than Spyro, to me, generally, but like, it's not perfect, because you have to rely on his auto-targeting. Like, you see the, like, green fucking target shit around things I'm shooting. You have to rely on that to fucking function. Okay, apparently that albatross just never existed in the first place. I was trying to kill something that never was there. Good job. Now I have to fucking figure out where the gem thief went, because I guess I'll figure it out later. He's fucking around for so long, and now his cycle is just all fucked. So he could be like anywhere. But there's these speed boost items. Little barrels that have fuel for whatever. So you can actually go backwards like that, and that's like one of the many things that is like a clear improvement over speedway shit in other Spyro games. This is the part where we waste a lot of time looking for this thief, which is here. Oh, there it is. Can I get those gems? Consolation prize. Just get the gems, which once again will be doubled. So I got like 200 per thief, and that got doubled. So I got like 800.
Here you go, Spyro. I earned you a dragon egg.
That was terrible.
Shall I give it another go and see if I can win you?
This speedway in particular is completely... It's based around trying to get the fucking thieves to be where you want them to be. Which is also why I follow this path up here. Obviously I wouldn't have to do that, but like this thief and this thief. But more importantly, this thief. He will not be here if I go through too fast. And following the path is a good way of timing it without like just throwing on a timer. Fuck, I had to shoot that albatross, but I couldn't because I'm dumb and bad. Hit the 5th ring and then do this, and the guy turns around and kills himself. As they do. Alright, there's 2 Yetis really out of the way here, and there's not much I can do about the fact. Yeah, he died. I was wondering if he would. Let's see if that rocket will hit the other albatross. It did not. It's alright, I can just do this. Apparently that albatross that left was one of these. Or not. Did it seriously somehow avoid being seen by me? Yeah, it is the one just circling around the room. I looked on one side of the room and then the other side of the room, and there was nothing. It somehow managed to be in the perfect sweet spot to avoid my fucking gaze. Good job. Amazing.
My trusty Air Force training got me through that, you know. I managed to earn you a light gem.
Now that's actually one of the worst speedways in the game. It's not as bad as Cloudy Speedway, which is the second top one.
A good soldier follows orders.
Like, the other ones are much better in my IMO. Anyway, this is a tough thing. I need to switch breaths, switch again, kill this guy, opens this thing immediately. Otherwise I'd have to like use fire breath and lose a little bit of time. Really tough to do all that while moving, because as I said, you kinda need to use the D-pad while using the left stick, which I don't know how to do that. Doing claw would be fine if the D-pad was where the stick is on the Xbox. But yeah, that's why I was lighting all the boilers. She wants them on.
I guess I won't need this portable heater anymore.
And that's my Citadel. Specifically the first pass of my Citadel. That we're not teleporting there, we're teleporting here. There's gonna be 2 passes into that level because there was one section that I completely glossed over because there's a supercharged gadget in there. Supercharged gadgets will activate when I get 40 light gems. So for the time being, I'm gonna clear out the rest of the entire fucking game. Hub 1 in its entirety, let's go. Alright, so there's a little section here that I'm gonna go into backwards. To go through like the other end, and then like this would be the end of the section. You fall into the... Dropping my input super hard right now. You fall into the professor's lab and then you get a cutscene. I don't want that cutscene, for one. And for two, this is just straight up faster to do. Hey, thanks, anyway. There's actually no way out of there. I just fell through the floor because it wasn't there. Because reasons. Thankfully, that's a relatively minor thing. Thankfully, because like loading screens are that quick. A fucking shit game. Oh my! Stop dropping the thing. There's a single frame between your like double jump and whatever, where you are actually just not allowed to charge. It's the part where it goes from being able to charge or like being able to fucking hit bash to being able to charge. There's one frame in between those, and instead of it being like a good transition from one to the other, there's just this one dead frame where circle inputs or B inputs will be ignored. But yeah, there's a puzzle for this light gem, but I don't care. Or Sergeant Bird.
Sorry, chap, but only birds and Air Force pilots can get up there. And I happen to be both of those things. Right. Shall I take on this flying challenge?
Anyway, this speedway is pretty neat. All these speedways are actually really massive, and unlike traditional Spyro speedways, they have categories of items, except for 4. This is true for all of them. The one I did earlier, there were only 4 of the gem thieves. But like generally, like all of the speedways will have 8 of like each category of item or whatever. So I couldn't... That's the problem with the auto-targeting. I couldn't get Sergeant Bird to aim for that head bash crate. Which I guess they're not head bash crates, I guess they're just target crates. I call them head bash crates because they're head bash crates. Or chests. They're not really crates, they're not rectangular enough. I'm gonna activate this. Whenever you have this animation on screen, it doesn't matter. You can't skip it in any way. You can kill yourself, and the status screen is actually hilarious. It says you died. Wanna try again? With all items collected. It's like, yeah, you didn't do it. You didn't succeed. Fuck you.
Well, here you go, Spyro. All I got you was this ridiculous dragon egg.
So whenever like there's an end of a speedway, if there's like 5 fucking items that you're clearing out, and they're all of different categories, that's actually a time loss route-wise. So it is one aspect of the route where I want to make it so at the end of the speedway, I'm only clearing out like as little categories of items as possible, because I'll be like hit at the same time. Then I'm gonna wait for like a good 15 seconds before I actually get to leave the fucking speedway. Am I not inside of it enough? God damn it, dude. Okay. Drop here. This is a lot less exciting than the previous one. It's still a neat route. I mean, it's just speedways. Speedways are gonna be what speedways are. The problem with this one is just that like all the barrels are so out of the way, so you can't get speed boosts really for losing time. $119, yeah, I lost 3 seconds or so. And that's that. Speedways are thankfully kind of fast usually. One of them that's super slow. They're usually like a minute per thing, if even that long.
That'll be all for now. But I can go back at any time and practice just for fun.
Unlike the Blink minigames, the longest of which will be almost 5 minutes. Right. Now I'm probably getting into breaking all the dark gems. So far I've just broken some like here and there, but now I'm gonna have to like... Why did I have fire breath? When the fuck would I have used fire breath? Ever? Shit. I've never had fire breath selected here. It's probably because of the save and load. Or it wasn't even a save, it's just a load because the game auto-saves. Whatever. It's fucking the dumbest. Yeah, here's the entrance to the zone I just went through. You're supposed to come through there, but I'm just like, no. Anyway, you're supposed to, at the start of the game, collect all those gems lying around, buy a lockpick from moneybags, open this door, talk to Zoe. None of these cutscenes have actually left the building, so I'm gonna have to actually go around 2 cutscenes there. Cutscene talking to Ember here is gone, thankfully. So avoiding it would be annoying because of how close she is to the Dark Gem. And you can see the keychain really coming in handy because like of the amount of lockpicks I'm carrying around. And there's still another chest I need to open. There's almost always like strictly the amount of chests in a level you need to get. Like most of them have 3. Sunken Ruins has 7 for some fucking reason, but like most levels just have 3 chests, which is very, very... And that's specifically 3 useful chests. Most levels do have a lot more than 3 chests, it's just that most of them don't contain anything. There's a whole section here where you have to like go through a bunch of shit, but instead I'm just gonna skip this. You're supposed to get a ledge grab there, but thanks to the game being very well made, I didn't. You can also do it ledge grabless, which I'm not sure why it didn't happen, but yeah. Here's me utilizing the ledge grab for out of bounds stuff. It is an animation that just pushes you through things because it doesn't care. Here's the last chest in this level that contains anything of use for me. And now I still need to collect an egg in this section I skipped. But that's done easily because there's water here. This is the water I actually used to get the swim in air at the start of the run. Fun fact. Swim here and grab this egg. And then die. Which brings me right back where I get swim in air, and this level is 100% done, all items collected. I'm gonna go enter a level called Crocodile Swamp, which is intended to be your first level. It's been well over an hour and I still haven't entered it, so I should probably get that done. I'm gonna do it out of bounds because, as you can see, this cave system just sort of goes in like every direction except straight. So I'm just gonna attempt to, yeah, hit all the loading triggers for the level, which are inside of the cave, but bleed slightly out of bounds. This allows me to take a straighter path through this, as well as just keeps me out of bounds for this. Otherwise, I'd have to like swim over a wall, which would take a little bit of time. Like this. Yeah, that gem is behind a wall you're supposed to break with supercharge, and that's a gem that's under a thing you're supposed to shoot with a cannon. This is gonna be the general method for clearing out levels now that we're in places where swimming actually exists. I'm gonna grab everything that isn't nailed down, and then I'm gonna go through the level getting things like dark gems and the minigames, because for those I have to exit the swim state. I'm gonna take a little bit of damage here. That'll be for later. There's a conspicuous button which opens this, and while that cutscene thing is going, it only locks your controls, but if you're swimming you have control of like the left stick. Nothing else though. So I use that to steer myself with the momentum I still have towards the wall. Get this a thief, which is conveniently facing away from me, or facing towards me rather, and will make it run away from me. And then kill myself. Thank you. And this is the part where I just go through the level getting everything that is nailed down. Like Blink here. Thankfully, we're only an hour in and we're gonna clear out like every single Blink by this point. We're gonna have like a solid hour or so, like hour and a half of gameplay before we're gonna touch another Blink minigame. Because the last one is really, really late in the game. It is the final minigame. And it is at the very end of the second to last level. So it's nice to get rid of these early, but one still exists will bother me no end. One of the more technical Blink minigames too. There's a lot of very precise throws. Get some free gems. As always, those gems will be doubled. I have to grab some bombs from this, which is dumb and inconvenient, but gotta do it. This thing. I do a blind throw from here onto a bomb that I don't really know where it is, but okay, never mind. Fuck making it blind. Spider made things alone. Might as well take my time. Got a trick here. Damn it. There is to get up there fast enough to throw a bomb. It will barely land on the shard. The backup if you take damage is that, because the spiders will stop trying to shoot you immediately on sight. Well, there will be no way to go you. And as always, the bombs have ridiculous hitboxes when interacting with each other, but their hitboxes are like a third of the size. It is a very, very strange property.
I found you a dragon.
Useful.
I'd love to get out of this fresh air and look for something even better.
We're not done here yet. We're gonna have the hard part
Try again.
right now.
See if I can find you a light gem.
This is where most of the time loss in this level would be. If there is gonna be time loss, because the rest of the level is kind of simple, because it's just Spyro stuff. Spyro is generally not hard. Blink is. And especially this one is gonna be kind of technical. Okay, that's gonna just fucking slide off. This is the dumbest throw. If that's gonna hit, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, it hit. Okay, that didn't even drop properly. Die. Let's throw another for safety. But yeah, already I'm losing a good bit of time. Because I had to do the first shard a couple of times. It's good. Getting rid of that spider makes this a lot easier. Though not free. Because you still... I guess the other spider is closer to you, so it's most likely that he will be the one to hit you down from there. Preventing you from dropping that little bomb. Okay, the god throw. Let's go. Nah. Yeah, I remember when I was talking about Blink just ignoring walls, not adhering to them? Yeah, he does that. Nah. Bit to the left. Just gonna try another meme strat. Oh my god, it worked. It's the first time ever. There's two methods for that dark shard to get it quickly, and if neither of them work, then you're gonna have to like aim downwards and get it with that. But you specifically need to bounce the bomb off of the platform, which is something that barely ever works. Otherwise, it's gonna like actually keep forward momentum until it hits the ground, and it's just gonna not work. Generally.
Found you a light gem. There's nothing else of value.
But like the long throw I had at the start, like that's something that's far more consistent. Like I almost got it. It's just that I had to aim a little bit more left. Refill on lockpicks, which, as you can tell, it's fairly expensive to refill on those. 3 lockpicks is a lot of cash spent. Anyway, I don't feel like spending too much time in here, so I'm just gonna cut the corner to over here. The reason I just came in there was for the dark gem and for the lockpicks. And the intended way of getting on here is above Blink's cage. You're supposed to jump into this tunnel, but might as well cut the corner. And here's the final minigame type. Cannon nonsense. It's also probably the worst, because barely even gameplay. You don't do anything.
Now maybe you can help me out. These dang swamp critters keep running off with my food. I ain't hurting every week now.
Well, I'd love to give you a hand, but
A
There's a reward
reward.
in it for you if you can run these foul critters here off my land. I got these old war cannons you can use. I'd do it myself, but the smell of gunpowder makes me...
You can see his cutscene model and normal model are completely different, because the coloration is entirely different. Good job, York. Right? No. Okay, there's like a couple of phases to this. First it spawns those little thingies and then it spawns a bunch of bats. Oh, there's one more. And then like 100 of these and then it's done. All behind this fucking tree. Fucking no. Oh. Die. Asshole. And this guy's just waiting here forever. Oh my god, come out. Fucking Christ. They don't have AI. He wasn't waiting for me to stop shooting. It's just like he decided he's gonna be there now. Lost like 15 seconds thanks to that.
Here's a reward I promised you, a dragon egg. I would have had it myself, but the dang shell on this thing's hard
Like,
as a rock.
fucking look at how he swaps models. Like, oh my god, why? Jesus Christ. And now we start off with some bats. And these things. More bats. A couple of these things. And then more bats. And then way more of these things. And then just more of these things. These unnamed creatures. That was faster than the fucking dragon egg, are you kidding me? At least that went well.
You saved my victuals. Take this here light gem for your trouble. Hey, I ain't got nothing more to give you, but if you're having fun, you can go again. I mean, if that's what you really want.
Alright, so that's basically the end of the level, really. Just keeping with the theme of looping to the end of the level and then just going from there. I'm gonna grab some of these things from the start though. I'm gonna go to the middle of the level where the level ends. I'm gonna try to get this without the ledge grab. Nope. Saves a little bit of time obviously, but consistent at all. Where the lockpicks come in handy. Oh, okay, this is like a massive section and there's like literally one item in here. Death ability to get out, and back we go. Proceed with the level. Almost done here. I've got 2 items. 3 items actually, 2 chests and 1 light gem. So look at these obstacles, they are being very useful. So you're supposed to hit like 2 buttons to open this door into this section. You're supposed to. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go into. You can see the button over there. That's one of those buttons. Ah, damn it. Oh, I'm over. Hit that button to open that and then remove that crocodile. He's pushing down a button that keeps this closed. And that room over there is where the thief was and I got him earlier. So obviously not useful to me. Now you saw some of those pendulums were just like stationary, but that's because when you get the light gem, they actually activate. I don't know why you'd bother trying to get out of there without killing yourself. There is no benefit to doing so. that? Crocodile Swamp, 100%. This is gonna spawn me in this place, and the door is still closed. I never came in here at the start of the game, so... I need to avoid money bags, because he'll still want to talk to me about those 500 gems and buying a lockpick. Now, this is an interesting trick. I'm gonna try to stay out of bounds here if at all possible, and then I'm just gonna loop around here, fly in here, trigger the ball gadget without ever triggering the ball gadget. This skips a really, really long cutscene. Like, it is an insanely long and boring cutscene with bad writing. Oh, okay, well. Fuck you. I said fuck you. I have better things to do, you know? Fuck you. I've never lost time in this ball gadget. Fuck you. Fuck you like 7 times. That's how bad it is. There's nothing in here. What a great section. Video is probably desynced, but that's fine. Just because the ball gadget doesn't agree with my capture card, or my capture card doesn't agree with the ball gadget. Either way. We're good now. Fuck you! He never does that. He's not supposed to think like I'm coming up from below him. He doesn't even know that that's even possible. It's the first time he's ever hit me. Anyway, yeah, that's the first chest. Gonna grab a couple of things. I'm gonna do the usual thing. I'm gonna swim and I'm gonna skip everything. Thing that I can. Oh my god, stop. Get this little egg. Very good spot, and that'll just pop me right out. And that's a massive plane of water, so... I'm just gonna cut through here and get straight to the end of the level. There's a light gem down here. More importantly, there's the second hunter level of the game. There's only 2 of them, sadly. They couldn't bother to make like the actually enjoyable character something you play as too often. Even more sadly, this is entirely skipped because you can just swim in here and it's fully loaded and the items are just sort of here. Yeah, press B while doing that to, you know, kick, flying kick or whatever the hell. Just... okay. Oh. Yes, I know it's desynced. This happens. It's probably been happening all the time. It's like a constant issue. Can't do anything about it. This little chest. And then back to the classics. Let's use that bonk out of bounds. Haha. This is the hardest one in the game. Haha. Thank you. Very good method of just getting swim again. Conspicuous wall. Get the egg. I'm just gonna guess at where this light gem is gonna spawn. I guessed very, very well. I'm gonna have to get rid of swim for this dark gem. The game's a lot better than Enter the Dragonfly, and whether you think it's good enough to even compare against the originals is up to you, really. It's its own thing, so it's good at what it tries to do, really.
Give it up, Spyro. Spyro. You'll never fit through that crack in the wall.
Being better than ETD isn't really a high standard.
So you want me to go in there
Yeah,
and do it
no more
for you?
Spark stuff. This one is fairly short. No, okay. Avoid those falling rocks, which is harder than it looks. Okay.
Here's a dragon egg. Are we done yet? Should I try again to see if I can find a light gem?
Exciting. Level changes in no way whatsoever. Let's go through this shit all over again. We have these new enemies that I'm not sure what they are. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to kill a bunch of enemies for extra gems, because it's always nice to get some. Not really wasting time getting these, so. Okay. No idea how the fuck that happened. Boy, why'd you?
Look, a light gem. You should start appreciating me more.
Fuck Sparks.
There's nothing left in there. Do I really have to
God,
go
no.
back in?
Right. Keep on backtracking. I have to use these walls a little bit to get around these huge rocks. I'm supposed to shoot them with the cannons around here, but I'm not. I'm gonna do no such thing. Why the fuck would I? So this is the end of the level, and I'm just gonna get there without swim, which is done as easily as this. There you go. And since getting out of here would take a good while, I don't feel like waiting a good while, I'm just gonna quit the game. And then I'm gonna load the game. There's no good method for death abusing here, so this is fast. As far as we know. It's the only save and load in the game, because generally speaking save and load is not that useful. Once again, go out of bounds, ignore the fake water, and get the real water for the swim. Now there's just a couple of items. I'm almost done with the entirety of Hub 1, which is gonna be nice. I need to get this thief and a light gem over here. Now this is a secret section. There's only supposed to be able to access it if you have 70 light gems I don't. I also don't care for rules. I believe they are made to be broken. So that's a net level 100%. Conveniently placed a shop pad.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
Feel free to browse my fine wares, Spyro.
And out we go. Hub 1, 100%. Now for Hub 2. I'm gonna try to avoid money bags here so he doesn't talk to me because he's frankly a weirdo and I don't really feel like talking to him. Alright, that's Dragon Kingdom. Now, much earlier in the run, when I beat Ineptune, after doing that, I went into a room to spin a water wheel. And the reason for that is because there will be a guy over here who expects me to spin 2 water wheels in order to raise the water so he can surf or some shit. I only did one of them, but he doesn't really care for the specifics. I did it, and therefore I did it, dude.
Here, dude. Take this as a reward. Thanks, dude.
I reward a light gem. Yeah. And there's another here. For this you do need to raise the water level. As you can clearly see, it is impossible to get this light gem without raising the water level properly. Completely impossible. The other water wheel is off to the right. It's completely useless. Anyway, got rid of the swim there because there's a dark gem. This dark gem I never broke because first of all I was in a swim and second of all I didn't have double jump. And for the horn dive or head bash you do need double jump. That. That's basically this half of the level more or less done. There's another dark gem and light gem. Let's kill those guys. Charging them will make you bonk, so you don't want to do that. It's slow. Let's see if this works. Yep. That there is Sunken Ruins. There's an elevator inside that little bubble. It's me way below. This thing first. And loading screen, which is what this essentially is. It's one of those games that just tries to get around loading screens by including stuff like this. It's really long transitions into things, really long sections where not much happens, so the game can load bigger sections. Something Twin Insanity uses a lot. Crash Twin Insanity. It's a lot longer than it needs to be, which is annoying. But what can you do? And there's the level. And in we go. This is a strange level with like the amount of chests it has that actually have items that aren't irrelevant to you. The only level with like a ridiculous amount of chests. It's got 7 chests. Worthwhile shit. Most levels have 3 or so. This has 7. It's a bit strange. I think it's 7. I haven't counted in a while. And I barely know how numbers work. Come on. This is the only way up here. Kind of. Just swim up here, really. There's a chest up here, because there's chests fucking everywhere in this level. Also, I need to wait for a little bit for these whirlwinds to actually spawn. That was perfect timing. You don't get to do that to me. You're not allowed. Only I'm allowed to fuck up this game. Lose the run. Anywho. Charging gives you like ridiculous downward momentum, and this is because much everyone learned from Spyro 2. Giving charging anything other than properties that throw you downwards would be a bad idea. Which is why Spyro 3, ETD, and Hero's Tale all have the charge just throw you down. Anyway, more of that ledge grab clipping. And swim. I'm just gonna have to do something very specific here, and... Not the fastest, but I did it. Survived, and that is all that matters. Now that Professor Hologram down there was an invincibility gadget. Relevant to me right that instant, but it is relevant to me right this instant. I'm not gonna talk to him now, but I'm gonna talk to him now. This is a cutscene stacking.
This looks like a job for Spark.
If there's a character involved in the cutscene, then going above them in swim will give you the talking toggle, the little Y prompt.
While you stand guard out there.
24 light gems to power the gadget.
Wait for the cutscene to end properly. Otherwise, it will not count as being watched and will be there after I get out of here. Anyway, characters will have that little talking prompt, and if you go over them and that prompt triggers, then hitting the ground anywhere in the chunk that the character is in will put you into that cutscene. That was trouble. The max amount of cutscenes you could stack is like 4 or so in Hub 1, because there's a ton of them in Dragon Village. But it's a lot less useful than you'd think, because there's not that many places where there just are cutscenes like all over the chunk. You have to be in the same chunk, otherwise you'll get nothing out of it. Because the character will deload and so will their cutscene. Didn't really fully utilize the stamina thing. Yeah, whatever. That was terrible. That's fine. I survived, and that's all that matters, right?
Hey, I found a dragon egg. Although I have no idea how I carried it out.
Right. Now more of this shit. This is really like the only Sparks minigame that's like obscenely hard. There's such a large fucking chance of dying in this one. I'm not gonna trust that. If you get stuck inside any of like the moving level geometry, since Sparks has no invincibility frames, which was a brilliant plan on the game designer's part, since he has none of those, he can die immediately. Just from getting stuck inside a thing. He can go from full health to none because he takes damage so fucking quickly. He's inside like the crusher thing or like the fan at the end of the level. The odds of him dying are just like basically 100%. That's that. There's only one more Sparks minigame left. As well as only one more blink thing, but there's a billion cannon things. And 2 speedways.
Check it out, a light gem. I'm so good, this game should be
How
called
about
Sparks
no?
the Dragonfly.
Just no. Anyway, there's only gonna be a short cutscene here now. For some reason, these are always divided into 2 cutscenes. One is where it's like, okay, this is what this gadget does. Then he stops talking and then gives you another cutscene. I think it's just based on like however many light gems you have. Anyway, I need a refill on lockpicks. Makes sense, but I don't like it either way. Anyway, that whole room has nothing in it. Yay. Jump onto here and then get onto here. Speed. Just so I don't have to deal with these little thingies, I'm just gonna hop off the tail of that thing. These things have the worst, most fucking randomized cycles. But there's still a thing I need to do here. More ledge grab nonsense. And this is to skip quite a lot of shit. Like the climb up here. I feel like doing that. So there's conveniently water over here, which is very good because there was a chest back there and this is a dark gem, so haha. Alright, let's use that invincibility gadget for something. Because the last one I picked up, I didn't do anything with it. Water. It kills you if you swim in it. It's the main use of the invincibility gadget. You go through things that would just kill you. Shit. Generally used for quote-unquote puzzles like that. Water, and it's the only way to survive in it. The invincibility gadget is gonna play a much more important role later on.
Go ahead, Spyro. If you've got
Much later, like real endgame stuff. This is an interesting room. You're supposed to jump around, hitting all these switches to bring up a statue in the middle of the room under the water. You need to bring him up from under the water, because as you can tell, it's green, it's death water. And then there's the statue. But, like, as far as I'm concerned, that's all I need. As long as the dark gem is visible, I'm good. Oh, I'm just gonna take a little bit of shortcut. Up down here. Get caught by the death water, because as I've said many times, all the water in the game has quite a ridiculous amount of depth. I just want to do this. Do you mind? Thank you. That worked. This isn't really that easy to pull off, which, you know, makes sense that I fucked it up. Still shouldn't fuck it up because I barely ever do. Okay, and this will deal with that. Get me out of there nice and quick. Also reset cycles, which is... probably won't matter. Come on, man. You know you want to give me that. Fuck you. You can pull that off. I have not yet. See if the game feed actually syncs up. So right now it's a good 4 or 5 seconds behind.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
Ah, there you are, my favorite.
Sunken Ruins, its entirety. I'd hope that it syncs up in the loading screen. It has not. Oh, fuck's sake. Not paying enough attention to the video game. I'm gonna clear out the other half of Coastal Remains. It's basically like there's two halves to this level, and the other half has Sunken Ruins at the end of it, the other has Cloudy Domain at the end of it.
Spyro, thank goodness you're here. My hatchlings can't seem to get into the water. And naturally, with me being a turtle, I want my newborn children to be able to go into the ocean unsupervised.
Hey, synchronized back up. Good job, video game. Capture card, I guess. This is the most annoying turret thing because it lasts forever and it is actually the only one that is any difficult. It's really fucking dumb. It's the only one I've ever come anywhere close to actually failing. I have never failed a single one of these, but it is the only one where I've come very, very close. Specifically the light gem version of this, because obviously, as you can tell, there's not much of fucking anything going on right now. Enemies haven't even touched the turtles. There goes the first one. Wow, amazing. Drop it. Bert. Just focus fire on these.
Thank you, Spyro. Why don't you take this egg? It was on the beach, but I don't think it's one of mine. There's another class heading off for a swim. Help them into the water, and I will give you another reward.
Game feed is stuttering a bit. Fun. Alright. This is the thing I was talking about. Thing that actually managed to be difficult. Because as you can see, the spawn rate for the vultures is a little bit bullshit. It's like 2 per second. Like the crabs, I mean, there's a limited amount of them. Vultures, they just fucking come, because fuck you. It can be a little fucking hectic, and it is very easy to miss one of these getting stolen. You mainly want to focus on the vultures here, just because like they're clearly the fucking worst offender. And the crabs, they just sort of come out and they just sort of chill. Wait it out. I'm fine with. Yes, saw that vulture on the left. Just escape. I am fine with this. I have no idea who thought this was okay, but this is not okay. Okay, that's the last turtle. If I just defend him. Like all the other turtles can just fuck off as long as that one last guy makes it.
Oh, Spyro. I'd make you the children's godfather, except I know you'd rather have a light gem.
And that's that, thankfully. Once again, it asks me if I want to play again for fun, but I still have no idea what the game is talking about, because holy shit is that not fun. egg over there. Over here. There's a lot of this kind of stuff where you're supposed to go into a boss or go into a certain hub to get a certain ability before you can proceed in the level and collect everything. Like, the game is intended as something where there's a lot of backtracking to previous levels. The original Spyro games were a lot like that as well, but there wasn't as much as in this game, I feel. The funny thing is, like, there's like no backtracking. You could do this entire game with zero backtracking to anything. It's just that it is actually fast to backtrack to like hub 1 and shit. The route I did earlier, the start of the run where I just went through all the bosses first. Get some height and see if I can ledge grab very low. So nope. This is my favorite swim in air, by the way. This is just fucking delicious. Look at how well they made this video game. Look, just... oh my god. I barely hit the water next to that little hole, but yes, there's an actual hole in the water plane there. All I had to do was make the water bleed out of bounds like 6 feet, and it's like... nobody would care. Nobody would ever find out that they left a tiny little bit of tiny little bit of nothing there for no reason. But good job, Eurocom. The best developers. Yeah, there's a door for 20 light gems here. I have no idea why it requires only 20 light gems, but I guess it only requires 20 light gems. The more ridiculous one is that like one of the last levels has like a 45 light gem door. And you need 40 light gems in the first place to even get to that point in the game. Well, intentionally. Anyway, this thief is now facing me, so he'll turn around and immediately fuck himself. Every thief has a manipulation in the game. Agree. Need to be manipulated. And that's when I just make him turn around as I come through the section first. Which is why I don't hit him when I'm going through the first time. And I get him like on the way back. Specifically for that reason. Okay, that's everything in Coastal Remains except for one light gem. And after that we're entering Cloudy Domain, the elevator for which is over there. Cloudy Domain is one of the more interesting levels in this run, because it is one of the harder ones, casually probably, because it's up in the skies, because this is an elevator, like, really high up into the sky. Elevator is also constantly pushing me upward, so since I'm in a swim state, it actually managed to push me way up and off the elevator. Which is a problem, because when I'm gonna spawn in Cloudy Domain, I might be 600 feet up in the sky. But yeah, anyway, the level is gonna be covered entirely in a death trigger, because obviously it's up in the sky. Like, what are you gonna do when you fall? Not die? It's not like you can fly, or... wait. But yeah, I swam off the elevator so that it pushed me under that platform, and I was just waiting for the thing to come back up so I could start moving and cheat my way through the entire level. This is one of those levels where it's like, yeah, it's meticulously crafted and it's actually really nice level design all around, and it's like cool stuff to collect all this nonsense, and I'm just like, fucking no. That's not fast. Hit the Zoe over here for a checkpoint. Thank you. You need wall kick for this. This thing here requires wall kick. As you can tell, I'm using wall kick right now. So you're supposed to come back into this level after going to Hub 3 and talking to Elder Aster. I mean, I've been to Hub 3, but I never talked to the Elder, but, you know, swim kind of solves a lot of issues. There's a long detour to this place. Swimming here is a lot faster. It's just how it is. And there's a thief. Happens to be facing towards me. What a convenient thing. And then there's actually 2 more items to go, but one is like directly in my path and the other is a massive detour. This egg down here. Gonna try to avoid this Zoe on the upcoming platform. Over there. You have to go pretty fucking close to her for her to actually tag you, but you know. I think I've actually managed to get tagged and I've just been horribly confused afterwards. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. I could do a backup from there. So as you might remember, I hit the Zoe to spawn at the end of the level. Which is where we have a dark gem. And also one of the cooler parts of the level. We have a ball gadget where things actually happen. First ball gadget had nothing in it, basically. This one is exciting. Because it's a speedrun challenge. And it's actually really tight. You can only really get there with like a bit under 10 seconds to spare. So 2 fuck-ups and you're done, basically. Anytime you get stuck on something, it temporarily removes your ability to even move, which is fun. If you get hit by those balls, if you get hit by these little fucking poles, like that. That was the demonstration, trust me, I'm not terrible at video games. I was demonstrating, yes. There's also a good amount of gems at the start of this whole little level, I guess. These doesn't fuck you over, thankfully. It's annoying. Now, this is by far the most annoying section. Okay, take it slow. Do you see how fucking tight this is? Start, which will give you a light gem challenge, which is 7 times easier. Mostly because, I mean, I have a skip for this, which skips the longer part of the level you're supposed to go through, which warrants the fact that it's like 20 seconds longer now. And I can just go through the same section I went through by doing a little bit of a sequence break, quote unquote, by just jumping over here. I mean, why the fuck would I go through the long section? What am I, an idiot? By your rules. And I'm so glad I got that first try, because holy shit, it is hard. There's a lot of physics nonsense you need to go right with that in order for it to work. But it's a fucking sick strat. It saves about 15 seconds over the alternative path. So it is a very worthwhile thing. There's also backups for that are much slower, but they still save time and skip doing the other route. I'm gonna hop onto this so I can immediately get to enough height to be able to do that. There's a button on the underside of that, which you can see is now activated. The death abuse was also nice because it immediately made the platform lower, which is what the button does. It makes a platform come down really slowly. In order to turn those little turbine thingies upside down, you need to hit a button, and then they slowly turn around, and then you can hit the buttons on the turbines. They look like turbines. They look like fucking jet engines. But either way, you can hit them when they're fucking upside down anyway, so why would you care? That and the fact that like dying immediately would make the platform come down instantly rather than having to wait for it. Yeah, just gonna go straight through the level collecting everything that is obviously in my path. There's an elder in this little house. He teaches you the wing shield. The wing shield is an extremely useless ability that does absolutely nothing of value. It is used to kill enemies in this level, and this level alone. You can use it to defend yourself from archer attacks, but I find that it is much easier to defend yourself through killing the guy before he can shoot you. It's my favorite defensive tactic. Kill that guy so he's no longer a threat.
Here we go, Spyro. The supercharged gadget is
And also, I'm not even gonna run into those guys that require a wing shield to kill. They're the big balloons on their backs, and they throw boomerangs at you. And I just don't have any time for that. Gonna do a little bit of a skip around here if I can manage to get enough height for this to work. And get stuck on it a little bit, but that's fine. Now I only have the Sergeant Burt thingo left. Let me tell you, this is the worst speedway in the series.
Go ahead, Spyro.
Gems, I think. What do you mean you think? I'm about to go through a section that's gonna give me 1,000,000 gems. Like fucking. Of course I'm good on gems.
Spyro. Still fighting the good fight, I trust. Oh,
Yeah, and that's after
we're
this
really
level.
high up, aren't
Alright
we?
now.
There's an area that only us bird types can reach. And I might be able to earn you a dragon egg or a light gem.
So this is terrible. This is fucking horrible. This is the worst. This is as bad as it gets speedway-wise. All the others are really fun. This can go fuck itself. Instead of target chests, which is generally what these have, this is the only one that doesn't have target chests. Instead, it has these little cannons. Cannons are equivalent to ass cancer. They shoot you. Getting shot stuns you. It's hard to avoid getting shot, and it's hard to shoot the cannons in the first place. As you can tell. Like the accuracy is okay. This fucking vulture is being an asshole. Come on. I think I'm gonna have to go around here. Yeah. I'm up here and they're already aimed at me and shooting. Only way to fucking shoot them properly is like the dropped bomb, which drops from his dick apparently. I can't tell. Because it's like all the normal shit not lock on. I'm not sure if that's an oversight or if they meant for it to be a pain in your ass. What do you want, man? Fucker.
Here you go, Spyro. This egg should go great with some bangers and mash.
And that wasn't even the bad part. This is the bad part. I fucking hate this shit. It's the fucking worst. I should have shot that vulture while I was there. 'Cause now... Actually, I shot the wrong vulture when I went through the first time. Oh, probably could have come up with a much better backup than that, but you know. No, I couldn't. I'm dumb. It's the worst. Yeah. They don't even need to be looking at you properly. Like you're out of sight, but that doesn't matter to the fucking cannon. It'll shoot you anyway. Fucking kill me, by the way. I want to die. Okay, that was good. And all I have left is this fucking guy. That actually went alright, I guess. Lost a bit of time in that level, but
Thanks to my
I'll at least lose a bit of time in that level.
I managed to earn you a light gem. Not as spiffing as my shiny war medals, mind you, but valuable.
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
Feel free to browse my
This time around, I'm not actually gonna buy lockpicks. Strangely enough. Because I'm gonna be immediately entering a shop in Hub 3. Because I'm gonna clear out Hub 3 and then Hub 4. And TSC are not equal. In terms of gameplay, for all intents and purposes, they are equal-ish, but TSC straight up just has faster loading times. Yeah, as you can tell, the lockpicks are cheaper to buy in this. Not an NTSC, because an NTSC Xbox 360 is gonna cost an arm and a fucking leg, so how about no? A supercharge aids you in going up some walls with infinite jump that you would normally not be able to go up very well. So I need a lot of height for this and then specific placement for that. Loads on removed in this game because we don't want to. It would be super easy. There's no variance in the loading times. They're consistent between the versions. We don't care. The only person running, and I don't care, therefore we don't care. This thief is a champion. He gets a gold star for being the best thief. Okay. The game can do that if it's if you go between chunks and if there's something loading. Like you can just be holding the charge button and then the game's just like, no, we're now no longer charging. I do need a refill. To use that refill, oh fuck off, that bonk is randomized basically. It's got to do with collision stuff. You don't really have any say whether you get it or not. Yeah, you need that refill in order to make it over here. Turn around here to not aim that high. Shoot that thing open. It's a little bit faster than going over. Like, I can go over and out of bounds so I don't have to shoot that door, but it's slower to do that, in my honest opinion. Oh, fucking just open the chest, man. Skip the whole fucking thing where you're supposed to use these dropping icicles in order to traverse this room. Because you can just glide over there and it's super easy to infinite jump from there. Okay. Skip the whole spinning, if at all possible. I would say that it isn't. Okay. Version differences are minor and don't really matter, except the only thing you need to know is don't get the PS2 version if you wanna speedrun this. In terms of anything else, there's not really anything that matters, but speedrun-wise, PS2 is such a huge detriment. You lose like 3 minutes in 80% or some shit, because the double jump skip is impossible. Now, this is a secret area that requires 95 light gems in order to enter through a door, but I didn't feel like doing that, so yeah. Also, I went to the end of it straight away. And this is the beginning of it, and that's all you have in that entire section. It's actually quite a large portion of the level. It's baffling that there's only 2 items in it. 2 eggs, 2 light gems, 1 dark gem. I am good on items. I did not miss anything. That is good to know. Oh, fuck off. I'm using this to climb up as far as possible, so I can go out of bounds earlier than that, but I need to get to a specific place with this. I need to get here. Otherwise, I'd have to land down there, and that's slower by probably like a second. And I have to open this. You don't have to open this. It's possible to do this without, but nobody has ever figured out a way to get out of this place consistently. And into it plenty of times. It's just that climbing over the door. Yeah, no, not happening. You can infinite jump on PS2, it's just you can't do double jump skip on PS2. I think this would be slightly faster than sitting in there for like an hour trying to take damage off every single Eskimo. Actually, I'm starting to have doubts about that. Hey, Terra Strong.
Creatures have taken over the skating rink, and I can't find my husband Phil to do anything about it. Please go in there and get rid of those troublemakers, Spyro.
See ya, Terra Strong. I don't know, Walkers. I didn't pay attention to whatever I ever had for the Dark Gem because it's the most irrelevant category. Can't just disappear. I guess he just disappeared. Come on. This is the most boring out of all of these. This is like almost impossible to fail. You have to take damage so many times for it to actually fail this. But it's like ridiculously long. Much to say about this minigame. It's just a thing that exists, I guess. Video game through it.
Take this dragon egg as a reward.
Feed is turning choppy, but that's a thing that happens. It's fine.
That gang of troublemakers has returned. Would you get rid of them for me? There's a light gem in it for you this time.
As you can see, the spawn rate for these guys is a lot higher now. I missed him, but that's fine. I need to keep an eye on the minimap thing, because eventually these guys start spawning. Look at that! Look how much red there is from taking damage there. You have to take like 10 hits or something. How do you fail this? Other than by literally ignoring the video game. This should be the last set of Yetis to come out, I'm not sure. No, one more. No, one more. Barely one more. No, what's that? Should be maybe obvious. The spawns are entirely randomized, but like they spawn in certain places. And like I can guess that like the last Eskimo is gonna spawn there because there's only 3 spots to spawn and only 3 of them can spawn. And that's all Eskimos. That's all Yetis. Now there's gonna be like a few of these. Like that was a good guess. I had no idea he would come on that hole. But it just was a good guess, and there's only 3 Yetis here, and then I didn't hit that guy. That's it. There are some games where mini games aren't like a complete distraction. I don't know, mostly like fucking Final Fantasy games come to mind. Like, in a way they add to the gameplay. Like in a platformer like this, I don't know if you can even manage that. Like even in the good Spyro games, quote unquote. Mostly, yeah, that's exactly 75% of all items. Even in the good Spyro games, the mini games are just like, why? Why are these here? The only thing that ever made sense was speedways, because like they always worked really well in Spyro. Anyway. I need to climb up a very specific path in order to get out of bounds. And I do need to get out of bounds. It is the only way for me to escape this hellhole, because the door into this place is locked securely, and there is no shop pad to teleport out with. So in order to get out, I need to use this incredibly reliable method. Thanks to my capture card and the HD quality of the video game, there's supposed to be a strip of texture here that's supposed to be a different color, but it isn't there. But I pretty much memorized it to a point where it doesn't matter that it's not a different color anymore. And that's hop 1, 2, and 3 all 100%ed. I'm at exactly 74%. The final boss has 1% to give me, so I don't know, weird percentage calculation. I kinda do ILs, I guess. Nobody else really does them. People used to do ILs for this game, like way back when nobody had routed anything.
I've got an idea where
And all of those ILs are terrible. I've beaten all of them since. In fact, I beat all of them like ages ago. It wasn't very hard. Especially the blink ILs, none of which utilized the quitting trick that gives you a dark shard, and then you can start at the beginning of the level with the timer reset.
See if you can find a way into the volcano.
Okay, just like in any percent, we're gonna get a swim in air right here immediately. Then I'm gonna go around here because there's one item in this. Look at how massive this place is. One relevant item. It's just one. No more. This light gem over here. Like, holy shit, talk about a waste of space. Okay. I need to get out of here, and the easy way to do that would be with this. By easy, I mean nope. All of the others. You know, I'm starting to feel like I should probably hit this guy first rather than coming here last. Feels like a bad route, but I've been doing this forever.
Norks are storming the beach.
Starting to feel like it would just be faster to come over here and then get all those items, get that Eve's egg, and then swim the fuck out of here. These first two spawns are set. Everything else from here is randomized, more or less. Like the enemy size that comes out of the doors, and whenever they feel like coming out is random. Basically, ignore the ones that just get past, cause like who cares? I'm gonna fail this, it's like impossible to fail unless you just have no idea what you're doing. Which casually you might have no idea, but like that's casual. Possible to do this without letting through any of them, but like it really doesn't matter. It's not like you lose time by letting them through. Sometimes when you complete a minigame, it's possible for it to give you the reward and then ignore the fact that it ever gave you the reward.
However, it seems
You can get locked out of 100% in this game, it's really great.
if you're successful again, I will reward you with a light gem.
perfection.
Good show.
And why didn't you do it instead of me and just give me the fucking egg and gem,
You
dumbass?
can defend the realm anytime
Why
you like.
is he
but
bragging?
I have no reward. This'll just be for practice.
So that's Stormy Beach. Very, very tiny level. But the fact that it uses like tons of space. And you just get swim again and get the hell out. Even more to this level, but none of it has any items. There's one thing at the end, and that's a dark gem. And I do need to go grab it, and let me do a little bit of a river proxy here. Hello, thank you. This game does have proxies. Surprise. They don't do anything or matter. Surprise. I actually cut that proxy really short. You go really, really, really high with those. Anyway, get swim here because why not? You're not supposed to get it. And just like in Coastal Remains, they forgot to make the water envelope all of the area. And they accidentally made it so that there's one part that's just deep enough for you to get swim in. It's a good job on that, Eurocom. You are a winner of a video game. Just grab these gems, cause why not? Nothing better to do. They're in my way. Getting these guys while swimming is kind of a pain in the ass. He really needs you to activate, though. There you go, destroyed village. Those are the fucking worst. See, they just sort of ignore you sometimes. This is some high risk. Fuck you. I'm just gonna go out of bounds to avoid all the next enemies, if you don't mind. Would be faster to just swim in bounds, but why? Fuck would I? And this isn't where all the risk ends. Oh, there will be more. There's no fodder for me to grab anywhere, so that's nice. Gonna go really high up so the phoenixes will ignore me. Kind of. Just swim around in this direction and I'll end up at the end of a big little puzzle section with a light gem. Like here. A bit more to the right. This light gem. And that's all you have in this big section, and then we make another huge detour. There's a dark gem. There's another. Right here. I'm gonna have to swim around where this dark gem is in order for this elevator to load. Not that I'll use the elevator. It's one of the weird things about Hub 4 is how unfinished it is, and this is one of those things that just shows like they didn't really fully make their video game. Okay, it's loaded. You've seen other elevators used so far in the run, but this is one elevator that for some reason activates by swimming through it. You just swim through the tunnel, it'll hit a bunch of triggers, and you don't actually have to go through the elevator itself. That was dangerous as fuck.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
Thankfully I survived, otherwise that would have been a huge time loss. Because then I would have to use the elevator to come down here and get that fucking shop pad. And then leave the elevator.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
Thank you. And this is why I come in here. I get the items with the swim, which is fast in itself, but also I have the shop pad activated, so I can now teleport to it whenever I feel like it. And I never had to use the really super slow elevator for any of it. I'm free to backtrack through Molten Mount however I please, because, well, always have a method of getting out of here into the next level. So that's nice. So right now I'm just gonna like run through the level and grab a bunch of chests and other items, dark gems, whatnot, until I get to a point where I'll teleport way back to the beginning of the level to clear out those rock monsters and a minigame. Big stuff. So I'm starting to get these pop-ups. Every egg is of a different type. There's 8 sets of eggs, and of each. Whenever you collect 10 eggs of a set, you get some sort of unlockable thing in the main menu, which this game calls the front end rather than the main menu, which is some great terminology. If you ask me. Right, there's artist thief in the game in here. Your line for that needs to be really on point so you can actually make it there fast enough. And then just abuse, get out of there super fast back here, and then just keep on going with the level. And that was that dark gem you may have seen out of bounds, and I'm just gonna go get it right now. Then I'll be done for this section, and then I'll go back to the beginning of the level again. This is by far one of the weirdest routes utilized, but that's just because of how Hub 4 is. It's not a real hub, all the levels are completely linear with a start and an end, and the end usually has like the start of the next level. Hub 4 is really not a hub at all, it is just like a long series of levels.
Hey, Spyro, over here.
Ah, there you are, my
Or
favorite
destroyed village. And I killed half of these rock monsters. They're a lot harder to deal with when you're swimming, but a lot less riskier. If that makes any sense. Like, you're much more likely to take damage from them without swim, I feel. And of course you want to push them in a direction that'll get them done as few hits as possible. This guy is kind of in a shit spot where like it'll take forever for him to be killed. I do have to hit the start gem, but it doesn't mean I don't fucking still skip this entire path that comes up. Because really it's faster to do that. If I can survive this, because I was supposed to double jump. Thanks, game. This will spawn me at the shop pad though, so that's alright, I guess. Pad worse. You're supposed to go through that path forwards and then backwards, but it's faster to just go through backwards, because going through forwards is slow, going through backwards is slow. I can cut out one of those at least. There's one spot with the lava walk in where you can do it consistently, and we'll get to that later. Just because the platform is at a perfect height where you will hit that one frame where it'll become possible to walk on the lava. But that'll be later, much later. Here's the last speedway. Thankfully it's not shit, it's one of the fast ones. On average it is the fastest, like, in terms of how fast like the Dragon Egg Challenge and the Light Gem Challenge are. Oh, that is terrible sometimes. Like, really terrible. Don't think I did that right. In fact, I missed one of these guys. Right, yeah, sorry, I fused the routes. That's fine. 105. Yeah, I lost like fucking a few seconds.
Hold out your hands.
Hands.
There you go, Spyro. I earned you a dragon egg.
Doesn't have hands. Fucker. Hit this guy and this guy. It's good to get one of the phoenixes or anything. It's not really 100% necessary, but obviously, like, why wouldn't you? Drop a bomb onto this guy. Okay, I mean, that's annoying. Time to shoot that thing and all the phoenixes. Or firebirds, or whatever the fuck the thing wants to call them. They're phoenixes! It's a fucking bird on fire! It's like fucking super well-known mythology nonsense. You can't do this video game. You can't rename stuff like that. The reason I went out of my way to shoot that target chest was so I wouldn't have to wait through 3 item countdown thingies. Not sure if it would be faster to wait to also shoot the Nork, but, you know, whatever.
Oh, great Scott, Spyro. That was rather a tough one, I must say. But I managed to earn you a light gem.
And that's that. Open this chest, because it also has a light gem. Conveniently, due to that cutscene and me opening that chest, this platform will be on a good cycle, which is why I waited for that chest, rather than opening it before. I'm gonna see if I can manage this. No, I can't. You have to immediately get on the roof of that thing. You can also skip this cycle by going fast, but I am dumb and bad. You can also just go on the roof of the thing and use that to skip the cycle, like a second or two faster, but you need to get it first try, pretty much immediately. Here though. This is why I killed all those rock monsters. This weirdo wants me to do that. It skips a cutscene where she actually tells me to do it by doing it before she asks me to. Yeah, hilarious. Another lockpick, because I can, and magma falls. Open them out. Very straightforward. I already cleared out this level, so it's like, who cares? I do want to get up here, if you don't mind. time loss, but that's fine. Now, unlike in any percent, this ball gadget is gonna have actual stuff in it now, because there's a whole bunch of items. They're pretty much all on the alternative paths that you can open up by pushing buttons and whatever. Hopefully I'll get lucky and not get killed by anything, because it really is like a luck thing. Like that fireball can come out just a little bit earlier, which will make it hit you and you will die. You can do a little really precise trick there. You can brake slightly before you jump, and you will barely hit the egg in the air. Then you will fall down before you make the jump. Just gonna do a little bit of a safety break there, because yep, that was a bad cycle. That was an even worse cycle, thanks. These cycles are completely randomized, so fuck's sake, I'm dumb. That's just me being retarded. Actually making it through these sections is just like not really up to you. You don't get to decide. Like, look, it's completely different. Usually it's the first fireball that's a problem. If you get past that, I don't think I've ever actually died to that. But if you get past it, it's supposed to be, you know, fine. I guess it isn't. Great pointless way to lose 8 billion years of my time. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's not even hard. It's random. It's me walking on lava because I can. Well, it's magma because it's underground. Whatever. And then just skip the wall kick entirely by infinite jumping up here. The lava walking, or magma walking, I guess. It's a frame perfect trick. The platform happens to be in a perfect spot for it. Activate it by hitting the lava before the frame that you're allowed to glide. And then, like, on the frame that you glide, you just start walking on the lava rather than take damage from it and die. Anyway, this is a very straightforward level. It's super linear, there's nothing really out of the way. The most out of the way thing is this and the thief egg. And the thief used to be the hardest one, and it used to have no manipulation, and then I figured out how to manipulate it. Which is very nice. Because it used to lose like minutes to fail that thief. Break that without bonking. I feel like going through thing diagonally helps with that. The enemy is very competent at his job, and the thief is on the other side of this pillar. I'm gonna do this, and he's gonna turn around. Then he's gonna turn around, and then he's dead. Because he's so stupid, he turned around. That needs to respawn here and do the final Sparks minigame, which is over here.
Spyro, you'll never fit into that crack. You know, I usually find valuable stuff in these places.
Good place for gems, but sadly it's at the end of the game where gems have lost their value long ago. But I'm gonna get a whole bunch of them anyway, because I can. Because I will still use these gems for something. I will be buying a power-up for myself. It might not be completely required for the video game. Hey, doesn't mean that it's pointless. I'll get the extra hit point for Sparks, which will help me a lot. In fact, will eventually turn into time save in one way or another.
Here you go, Spyro. I got a dragon egg. Man, those things are heavy.
Okay, that's one of those amazing random cycles. Just like every single minigame, all the gems you get from these will be doubled upon exiting the minigame. I'm not sure if that's a version thing or what, but it seems like a super obvious oversight. So, I'm not sure. I'm also not sure how to get more health. It really doesn't matter. As soon as you get to this quote-unquote boss, you basically can't take damage from anything. It's like, how are these gonna damage you? Drop bombs? Wow, I'll just run right into it, right? Then when they're done, it's like... yeah.
Okay, Spyro, I got that light gem. You know, it's a good thing I can fit into those gaps, or you'd never get all the dragon eggs or light gems.
Whatever you say, man. Don't care. Actually, a little bit of a time loss. I'm gonna buy the extra hit right now. Fuck you. I'm gonna do something I generally don't do, which is bonk on flat ground, which... we'll see. Actually, I don't think there's a reason to do any skips here. Probably have to do this. And it didn't work, so... okay. So this time we're gonna wait on those platforms. I could have done a minor, like, 10-second time saver. Had I just, like, not bonked on the floor. As such. Now all of that is gone. Now I'd have to go all in with the fucking huge skip. Which I don't believe is worth it even in fucking any percent, because it fucking doesn't work. Yeah, you have to go on these platforms rather than do lava walking. Even if walking on the lava was fucking RTA viable, you couldn't do that because you have to be on these platforms to go through a bunch of loading triggers. Level won't load if you just skip all this. That's good. The reason I didn't buy lockpicks when I went to that shop was because these are the last 2 chests I am about to open in the game. Having an extra lockpick would actually be kind of a risk, if anything, because if I happen to somehow find my way to a chest that doesn't have anything, and then accidentally open it, then that's wasting a lot of time. So let's see if I can get this. Yep. Just a little bit of a boost off of that. Get on the platform, so I can easily get up to here, and from here I can easily get up to here. Freeze this guy so he doesn't do anything to me. And from here I will skip directly to the end of the level, as has been the trend with every single level, pretty much. It's the last dark gem in the level. Or it's supposed to be. It isn't, because it isn't. Now, there's only like 2 dark gems in this level, something. Also, you may have noticed that all the enemies have changed. I didn't run across that many. There were some in Molten Mount here and there, and you know, outside of it, but like clearly these are like way different enemies now. But that's a thing. Jump here. Hope. Clicked. New enemy types are kind of annoying at times. Especially the big guys with their fucking sticks that explosion thing. They're like overpowered actually. That's end game enemies for you. Anyway, once again, don't have wall kick, which would be the way to backtrack through here, but as I don't have it, I'm just gonna use my wall kick. The biggest time loss I take into Elder Aster and Ice Citadel for the wall kick. And that's good. Thank you. Do this, do this. Grab that. Speedrunning action. Go in here. For the elevator to actually go up. God damn it. Since the door didn't close, I imagine this one is open as well, which saves a little bit of time. It allows me to jump off the elevator. And cheat.
Normally, I'd be freaking out right now, desperate to get.
It is fun to run. It's just these.
I don't feel that bad.
Maybe that's because you're all.
You missed every single one of these.
Hey, you're right. Should I explore below ground?
And this is the worst one. Hell, this even starts off with a 20-second wait. Because that platform is my only way of getting over there. So this is fun. Wouldn't it be fun if I could just walk forward and be done with it? Nah. Bombs anywhere, so I have to use this one that's like down here and out of the way, and even then there's a shard. So, I mean, I have to come down here. Thank you, spider. Thank you. I pretty much always die there. Either I'll get onto the platform or I'll slide off. Like, these are options. That was good. Fireball was fucking other ideas. Thank you. We're pretty much at the mercy of these fireballs, by the way. There's no way to recover from getting hit from them. You are just dead. That's it. End of story. Thank you. Fun little throw onto there, and then escape. See if I went fast enough, because there's a cycle skip, which is why I didn't just wait on those fireballs in the first place. This thing. I really hate this level. And this isn't even the light gem. I guess. blows up. Go really fast, because, yeah. I am on a cycle thing here. Well, I wouldn't have made that anyway, but yeah, it's that platform that comes down. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, and while I do that, I'm just gonna take out my fucking frustration on these guys. What a good minigame. Isn't it great that this is at the end of the game, where I can come to it and lose 7 minutes every time? Which, by the way, is immediately the amount that I will lose if the game will crash upon exiting this minigame. At which point I will skip the minigame entirely and not even do the second part of it. I am not kidding. Okay, let's go for the God throw. The God throw. And it missed. I tried to get the other one next to it, but no. Allowed.
Here you go, Spyro. I found you a dragon.
Now we wait again, because the cycles haven't changed at all. Not one bit. Once again, throw down here. Okay, yes it is. So I'm just gonna death abuse this time because I want to. Reset the cycles to what I was trying to get earlier in the other challenge. Oh, fuck off, that spider's in. That's not great. Gonna wait on this fireball. Thanks, Blink. I appreciate everything you do for me. And it dropped my second jump, so didn't even give me an attempt. Now, you can either choose to believe that I, for some reason, decided to twirl the entire analog stick fully around because I thought that would be fun or something, or you could just take my word for the fact that this game isn't very good at handling the stick inputs you make on it. Thank you. I might miss the cycle. I would not be surprised. That ledge grab was the worst thing so far. Okay, that's fine. So I'm already on low health, which is nice. There's her. You can see the fodder right now. It's those bats. Guess how easy it is to hit those bats with Blink's laser. It may or may not be almost impossible. There also may or may not be like 2 or 3 sets of them in the entire level. So have fun with that. Once again, I'm gonna try for this cycle skip, which involves getting that. Already a thread, which is good, right? Bring a butterfly jar into this fucking thing. That's actually a strat, maybe. Like it would be. Hey man, see, yeah man. Okay, now I try to get some sparks back. Failing that, I will try to avoid this guy. This brings me to here in the extra section of this level. That'll hit. Gonna hope that that hit it. Probably didn't, because I'm at 6 and not 7. So we're just gonna waste an extra 30 seconds or so getting back to that, thanks to that spider just punching me off the thing rather than just like giving me a chance to do anything else. Die. Fucker. Christ. Fuck. Here through a bunch of cycle skipping, I'm gonna have to actually wait quite a while for this thing to come down. And then I don't really know how to make my way over the thing, because I've never had to do a backup for this. I've never been punched completely off by a spider. Well, I guess it's a straight path. Works for me. Oh my god. Is that wall necessary? Yeah, wall, whatever, platform. Okay, this should be easy. There you go. I hate Blink. I've been running AHT for a good long while. I think I picked it up, kind of picked it up in 2014. Became uninterested in the any percent at the time because it had no infinite jumping, and figured 100% would be even more cancerous. But eventually, sometime in 2015, the infinite jump was found, and I was like, hey, I wonder what 100% would look like now. I wonder what it would look like if, you know, things were allowed to be done, rather than... Fuck was that? There you go. Fuck it. But I guess properly I've been running this since 2015. You can go over this, and even more interestingly, you can just go out of bounds there really easily. Fuck you. I'm being bullied! Go away! Not fair. It's a 45 light gem door, which is really questionable when you think about the amount of light gems you might have at this point in the game. Actually play it properly. Anyway, here's some invincibility gadget stuff. Never mind, I'm not gonna swim through here. I'm doing this because this is faster. Mainly because the movement is faster, but also because turning here is gonna be like way fucking faster. And that's because speed is key. Because speed is key in the general sense, but because I am on a tight timer now, I need to carry this invincibility to a place right the fuck now. And I need to remain out of bounds, preferably. Look how little time I have. I need to be at this jump pad. And I fucked that up. Good job, thanks game. The movement physics underwater are fucking terrible for any sort of precision. So things like that are not only common, but they are bound to happen. You have no choice in the matter, I would say. And suddenly it's been fucking walled off. Fuck you. This is literally like the fast way to get the fuck back there. Still need to get what I was trying to go for. Like, I'm not done. This time I don't have to collect the items, so this is essentially free. But the thing is, I'm gonna have to wait for like 8 years for this invincibility to run out. So that's like triple the time loss for the cost of one bad video game. There's no good way to really get yourself onto this thing.
Got money to spend. I am here to relieve you of the burden.
So you can't tap A to have slight movements. Like, I'm barely moving. Fucking Christ, dude. There. I have to wait through the damage animation first, then the death animation. This activates something really fun and something most people are familiar with from quite a lot of games. This is the zombie state wherein I cannot die, and that's because when you get swim in air from this water, it will kill you immediately after it ends the invincibility. As you may have noticed from my 2 examples of dying immediately after it ends. However, now I am invincible. I cannot die, so I'm just not gonna die. So I have to go in here for another loading trigger. Through there, and then back out, and then just cut the corner to one of the ends of the level. This level is the only real hub-like thing, because like there's a middle room, and from that middle room there's like 4 doors to certain places. It's gonna go around hitting all the money bag shop pads, so I can later teleport to them after I want to get the dark gems, but right now I'm mainly collecting items. Like there's a big circular room in the middle in this level, this one. There's a bunch of paths going around here and there from that room. The paths lead to the final boss, but currently I'm interested in items because I need to get 100%. Oh, fuck you. That's really annoying. This level is alright as far as levels go, but like it's not like a top tier level, so I'm glad to be skipping all this nonsense.
Go ahead, Spyro. If you've got money to spend,
But yeah, I'm gonna get the last egg thief on my way here. And then the last room will have 2 light gems. Well, the last path, there's gonna be multiple rooms. But there will be 2 light gems and an egg. But this fucking guy, to approach from here, because he's facing away from me. And then that's that. Now, I also need to activate this shop pad because I need to come here eventually for the final boss whenever I need that, and push that button twice to like open the path to the final boss, as I did with any percent. That's just future prep. Ah, there it is. I was wondering if I went past. 1 off on both the eggs and light gems. The checkpoint here. Last light gem is right there. And the final leg is right here. Off by these killer lasers that can totally kill me. Oh boy, I unlocked the ability to play more Sparks shit. Always wanted to do that. This is actually kind of tough as far as platforming in this game goes. It's good. On the PS2 version, there's an exclusive skip for this dark gem. But I don't really care that there isn't one on this version.
browse my fine wares.
Very, very little of the game left. Need to get this dark gem and another, and then beat the final boss. Which hopefully this time around will actually not go like complete. Hopefully. Now this one's really easy though, because I like forgot that you can really easily get up that high without even doing anything unintended. They probably should have made that completely solid all the way up to the ceiling. But that's just my professional opinion.
There you
The
are.
pre-production thing. Avoid these enemies and freeze these guys so they don't hit me. They're really adamant about guarding that dark gem. That is 99%. Still, final boss, which will give me my last bit of percentage.
Browse my fine wares, Spyro.
And I just bought a butterfly jar with my remaining monies. Still have fucking way too many gems. I love overgemming, but it's kind of an inevitability in this game that you overgem. Yeah, that butterfly jar is gonna come in handy with the final boss, because % run I death abused to spawn a bunch of butterflies. In this one, I just used the butterfly jar. And once again, I mean, this is still faster than going through the fucking barrier, because the barrier cutscene takes a while. So why not just like go around the barrier out of bounds? Even with everything in the game, I'm still skipping into this boss because fucking why not?
Professor, I finally found you. What were you thinking going after Red?
I don't know. I thought I could stop him after you had weakened him. But as soon as I got here, I was captured.
Choppy footage
locked
right
in
there.
this lab. Red's
How did I
forced
just
me
walk
to
out of
work
bounds?
as you
There is
will
nothing there
buy.
in that wall.
You know,
It's the one spot here in Red's lab that just allows you to walk through the wall. No idea why. No idea why they had to have one spot be right next to the final boss, but thanks guys.
So, Spyro, have you returned to fight me again? And do you think I will allow
I
you
think
to
I'll
win
win.
this time?
Yeah, whatever. You're not so much of a challenge. I'm sure I can do it again.
Ah, poor naive Spyro.
Spinko.
You obviously
The
don't know that
dingo.
I always get my way.
You know, had I not fucked up any % completely, maybe we'd actually be on schedule, but this is gonna take a couple of minutes still. Gonna have to fuck off real fast after this run.
leave it to me, Spyro.
Because we're actually really close to being on schedule after this. I should have gone faster, but I could not because I am bad at video games. Let's get rid of these bombs and make a beeline for the guy. Skips directly into this. Saves a good amount of time to do that. Because he waits for such a long time after that. It's annoying. The laser thing, you want to take damage from the laser, and then this way. Miss the thing entirely, why not? Okay, still got it. Could have very easily missed that. I'm gonna try to stay away so this doesn't hit me. It's annoying. Take a hit from that. Okay. Activate those through the floor. And if it doesn't try to hit anything under the floor, then that means that there is no electric thing under the floor, and it's gonna be a bunch of those bombs. These bombs are by far the worst enemy in the game. Quote-unquote enemy. Now hopefully I'll be good on everything here. Hopefully I didn't fuck up that phase due to taking damage twice. I did get a really good early hit, yeah. I did get a good early hit on the electric switch. It's actually a really tight phase to one cycle. Also, I can once again use the electric breath to test for what's under the thing. The button obviously doesn't make the electric breath track on it, so it's a good way to check for an enemy. If it doesn't go under, then you can count yourself very, very, very lucky. This should be the final phase, though the any % run showed us that it doesn't have to be the final phase. It can definitely last a lot longer than this, but you should get ready on the time thingy, maybe. Let's see if I'm lucky here. It would seem to be so, but yeah, I figured I was in the wrong place for that. Why do I still have red sparks? I took damage. Yeah, I'm just using the electric breath to reset the animation, which skips the reloading. And time. Haha.
I fixed the machine, Spyro, so hold on. I'll finish him off.
That was actually not terrible, but it was terrible.
Congratulations on that run.
Yeah.
It's well underestimated, if nothing else.
We're still gonna have the secret 100% scene, which is some epic top tier, amazingly written comedy that I'm sure everyone will want to see. And then I will go away forever, hopefully.
Sounds good.
Alright, here we go.
I can't read that. What does it say? Oh, is it about pudding? Look at all the names. No, it's just the credits. I believe the game is over.
Good. I didn't like it. There was too much talking, and the actors playing the other elders were just plain awful. Oh, sure, I would love a sandwich. Cut the crusts off, would you? I didn't say anything about sandwiches, you deaf coot. Aren't you dead yet?
Perhaps we should just turn off the TV for a while. Good idea.
Make mine baloney.
No, okay, that happened. And here are the credits, as you can tell. This video game likes loading its credits. Yeah, so that's a thing. The game hasn't crashed or soft locked, it's just very confused about whether it should actually display the credits. Like, look, I am good. The video game is good. Yeah, that's 100% Hero's Tale status screen showing exactly that number. We are good. Why wouldn't it show that? Well, whatever. Anyway, yeah, that should be done. So, yay! Next is fucking memes, apparently. So that should be fun.
Up next, we got 149 egg from Wed. And then
Yep.
we'll be ready for the trifecta for the finale.
Oh boy.
So we're getting close. Anyway, thanks
Yep.
for the run, Dust.